XRP is the best asset for routing money. Let's get into it, folks. And yes, I do have my David Schwartz shirt on here today. Check it out. Gotta love it. Now let's get right on into it. Talk about a use case for XRP, folks. Take a look at this one. Do you need a bridge currency? You absolutely do, because nobody trusts each other. What we see right now is 14 tankers with oil from the Russian Federation have been waiting for shipment from India for several weeks, all because of problems with payment. The Indian side refuses to pay for oil in dollars for fear of falling under US sanctions. They offer to pay in rupees, which the Russian side no longer agrees to. So Russia doesn't want to accept the rupees, and the Indians don't want to pay in dollars because they don't want to be put under any sort of sanctions, right? And this is where you insert XRP as a bridge currency. Yes, it's the best asset for routing money, but it's also perfectly slated to be a neutral bridge currency between countries like this that are trying to get away from the dollar, trying to do trade with each other, but they still don't trust each other. Let's remove the trust, insert that XRP, and get the deal done. Now, what we're seeing right now is opportunity. Money is chasing opportunity in these emerging markets. We just saw the largest weekly inflow of 12.4 billion into emerging market funds. This is the largest in history. Now, for me, I still only got so much money, so many shekels to play with here. So I don't have really too much money to throw on investment opportunities, in these emerging markets just quite yet. But where I am starting to get some exposure and understanding and learning is in the commodity plays in some of these jurisdictions that are definitely in emerging markets, and this is what you got to be careful with. You have, significant political risk, and you got to be understanding of the climate in these emerging markets. But with that being said, tremendous opportunity, and I think that you can see that justified by the largest weekly inflow into emerging market funds, which just highlights the fact that there is always opportunity somewhere. And I believe that we're entering a moment in time where there's going to be more opportunity than you can even get to. There's so much that's going to be happening as far as destruction, dislocation of wealth, of money. And we're seeing that highlighted in this next data point right here from Danielle DiMartino Booth, sharing this article, a story about a repo driver getting shot at while he was trying to repossess a vehicle. She says, gives new meaning to on-the-job risk. Kelly, with 60 years of experience in repossessing industry in multiple cities, said he's reclaimed just about everything there is to tow, but said lately, with cost of living rising, he's noticed more and more repossessions. So this happened in St. Lucie, Port St. Lucie, where a tow truck driver, I guess, got into some sort of altercation and got shot 6 times and ended up surviving, right? But you talk to these repo drivers, these repo company owners, and they're seeing that it's going to get worse, that it's already picked up. It was down during the pandemic when everybody got stimulus. Everybody didn't have to pay their mortgage, didn't have to pay your student loans. But now that bills are coming due, we're starting to see this tick up. And like I said, there's going to be plenty of opportunity on the other side of this for those that stay solvent, stay liquid, and you build up your cash reserve so that you can buy the opportunities that are going to be coming online. Now, speaking of opportunities coming online, as we've been saying, go beat up those builders. What we're seeing right now is that the builders are willing to wheel and deal when it comes to the real estate reset. This is being confirmed by this data point right here, with the median price of new single-family houses sold in December dropping to $413,000, down by about 17% from the peak in October of 2022 and the lowest since December of 2021. The 3-month moving average, which irons out the monthly ups and downs, fell to $417,000, the lowest since October 2021, and down 12.8% from the peak in December of 2022, red. Now, on the monthly basis, you can see on this chart right here, the median price was above $500,000, right? It was above $480,000. It was pushing about $500,000 on a monthly basis. And even the 3-month average got all the way up here to about $480,000. Now that 3-month average is down to about $417,000 and the monthly down to $413,000. That's, a significant price drop in the new home prices. Now, what we've seen is that new home sales are up, and they were reported as back up in December. We just got that data point last week. And the reason for that is what I just shared with you. The builders are willing to wheel and deal. And so metaphorically, I've been saying, go beat up the builders because they're willing to come to the table. They're offering incentives. They're doing special rate buy downs, special financing. They're doing everything that they can to move this product because they have to get it done. And so this is a leading indicator of the real estate market. The real estate reset that's underway has been confirmed by the data points right here. It's not just me saying it. It's not just me being a millennial that wants to, be able to buy the American dream. No, the data is confirming the real estate reset, and the opportunities are abound, and they're going to grow for those that are ready and prepared to get a deal done. Now, what gets exciting about this moment is we're watching the cycles play out here as we enter the Bitcoin halving cycle. And what we also see that coincides with that Bitcoin halving cycle is a 4-year cycle for global liquidity. We're looking at this chart right here, and you can see he says Mippo on Twitter, maybe this is the real reason crypto has 4-year cycles. And you have a global liquidity index that you can see here that has coincided pretty well. 4 years on, 4 years off, right? And we just went through that contraction period, and we are starting to build this thing back up, set to explode. And now this doesn't mean that the market's not going to go down. We're going to have a correction. That is actually likely to be seen. And that's what's going to drive more liquidity getting put into the system is something's going to happen, black swan event, banking crisis continues. We could list off a dozen different scenarios, World War III, southern border, you name it. Something's going to pop, something's going to go off, and that's what's going to cause the Fed to come back in, just like they did in 2020, drop rates, and turn back on that money printer. And this is why we're perfectly positioned in the digital assets that have limited supply, real utility, why we're perfectly positioned in commodities like our silver that has plenty of real utility and a lot of correction to the upside to be done there in silver. And I believe that we're in the beginning phases of a commodity super cycle, this wave up that takes us into the bull run of 2024, 2025 is just the next wave, part of a broader cycle, though, that continues all the way out until 2030. Now, what we're seeing right here is that BlackRock's IBIT ETF, that's their spot ETF, now holds almost 50,000 Bitcoin as assets under management hits 2 billion. The rapid accumulation reflects the strong investor interest, but also marks a significant moment in the integration of digital assets into mainstream finance, shared here by Martin Hespik, who is head of research at Uphold. Huge shout to Martin for that data point. And so, yeah, they're buying up the Bitcoin, they're buying up the real estate, they're buying up, and they have obviously a large control of the equity market as well. And they are the largest asset money manager in the world, right? They have they manage the largest portion of U.S. pension funds as well. Right. So as BlackRock moves, they move and they do it in a big way, and they're getting exposure to Bitcoin in a massive way. And I shared it yesterday, last night's live show. If you guys missed it, was a Friday night live, ran up the session for a good hour or so. So if you want to listen to an hour-long rant, I know it's not everybody's deal, but that's what I wanted to do on my Friday night. And I know that there's many people that appreciate those sessions. So thank you for the support. But yeah, I did talk about it last night about how Robert Mitchnick, who used to be at Ripple, went to BlackRock. And Anthony Scaramucci shares the story about how Larry Fink 2 years ago didn't believe in Bitcoin. He didn't see the opportunity, but he hired Robert Mitchnick to be head of digital assets at BlackRock after leaving Ripple. Once again, all roads lead back to Ripple. And Robert Mitchnick helped Larry Fink see the light and see how much money they could be made, right? Whether or not they believe in Bitcoin, that's another discussion. And they've highlighted that they do. Larry Fink says there's a role and talks about utility cryptocurrencies as well. But if there's money to be made, BlackRock's showing up. And that's why they now have 50,000 Bitcoin. I don't know how much of the supply of Bitcoin that is, but a significant stake now and control of Bitcoin, right? They're going to own it all. And as I titled this episode, XRP is the best asset for routing money. We found a classic clip right here of Stefan Thomas saying, quote, "I like to compare Ripple to Cisco because they didn't need to own TCP or IP. They didn't need to make it proprietary. They benefited plenty by being the best vendor for enterprise grade routers. And so what we want to be is sort of like the best vendor for enterprise grade routers for money. And we want XRP to be the best asset for routing money." And this is why we call Ripple the one-stop shop for liquidity solutions. Now that they've acquired Medico, they have custody figured out. And as we are going to be entering into the new phase, the new reality for the XRP ledger with the AMM, the automated money maker, that's coming to the XRP ledger, and that is going to help fulfill this dream that Ripple saw for XRP ledger being the best asset for routing money. Let's listen in here on Stefan Thomas, classic clip.
That kind of lock-in.
I often like to compare Ripple to Cisco, because Cisco, they didn't need to own TCP/IP. They didn't need to make it proprietary. They benefited plenty by being the best vendor for sort of enterprise-grade routers. And so what we want to be is like the best vendor for enterprise-grade routers for money, and we want XRP to be the best asset for routing money. And so at the height of the internet boom, actually became the largest company in the world by market cap, just to give you an idea of how big of an opportunity that could be. And so for us, that's plenty big. And in fact, if we didn't pursue this kind of strategy, if we pursued a strategy like, let's say the Bitcoin maximalists, where you're trying to get everyone to use your particular currency and your thing, then the risk that you're taking is that some other interoperability solution does come out, and then other people are optimizing their solutions for that world, and you have missed the boat. And so we think it's very important to build for like an interoperable future where there is a lot of competition, because that's driving us to have very high efficiency and very good user experience and so on.
And just like we showed you guys at the very beginning of this episode, right, you have an issue right now with India and Russia trying to trade their oil, and they don't want to pay in dollars so they don't get sanctioned. And then Russia doesn't want to accept Indian rupees because they don't trust the currency. This is where you insert a neutral bridge currency, and this is where the largest corporations, institutions, and banks in the world are tapping into Ripple to help them tap into the liquidity solution that's provided from the XRP ledger. And the secret sauce is the AMM. We're sitting about 5 votes away, and the validators are updating right now. They just had a little bit of an issue so that they had to implement a fix. We just got Ripple D 2.0. They issued a fix 2.01. And as the validators update to that, we're being told that we're about to get 6 more yes votes on AMM. So the AMM should be going live here probably within the next month even. As long as there's no issues, we get the vote, the 80% threshold. We hold that 80% vote for 2 weeks. Then it gets enacted. And then the XRP ledger really is going to be entering a new reality with AMM, which is going to provide DeFi capabilities for businesses and enterprises to help build out more liquidity on the XRP ledger. I see tremendous upside, and full disclosure, I've never been more bullish on XRP. So if you guys appreciate the update, please make sure that you like this video, drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think about it. And then please know that all of our community resources are at my website, zachrector.com. I just got off a fantastic Discord weekly call. Every Saturday we have those. So if you're looking to get tapped in, get in direct contact with me, we have the Patreon Discord community available at the website as well too. So I appreciate everyone for your support, and I will see you guys in the next video. We'll see you. God bless.